Hey all, this is Cactus, and welcome back. Today's topic is really interesting. What if Goku married Caulifla? Disclaimer, the content on this channel is for entertainment and discussion purposes only. I do not own any of the anime footage used in my videos. All rights and credits go to their respective creators and copyright holders. Now, let's get into it. It was no ordinary day on Saiyans, the prominent planet of Universe 6. The arrival of the god of destruction, Champa, alongside his angelic attendant, Vados, signaled a significant event. They had come to the planet with a singular purpose, to select 3 exceptional warriors to represent Universe 6 in the most crucial competition in the multiverse's history, the Tournament of Power. This tournament would bring together the strongest combatants from 11 universes, each determined to prove their supremacy. The excitement across the universes was palpable, as every warrior eagerly anticipated the chance to showcase their abilities. Champa's presence on Saiyans was marked by meticulous scrutiny as he scoured the planet for the final candidates. To be chosen for Universe 6's team, a warrior needed to demonstrate unparalleled skill, power, determination, and uniqueness. After an extensive search yielding no suitable contenders, Champa's attention was drawn to 3 young fighters, 2 women and a man, training vigorously in a mountainous region. Vados, look over there. I believe we've found what we're looking for, Champa said. Lord Champa, Vados replied, casting a doubtful glance, those are mere children. Are you certain they are the warriors we need? Consider our opponents carefully. Look closer, Vados, Champa insisted. As if on cue, the trio began to radiate intense energy, their power visibly increasing. In a sudden flash, their hair transformed, 2 of them now possessed golden hair, while one displayed a striking green hue. Lord Champa. There. Vados began, her voice trailing off. Super Saiyans. Now we can win this, Champa declared triumphantly. Descending to the ground, Champa and Vados approached the young fighters. Greetings, Champa began, addressing them. I am Champa, the god of destruction of this universe, and this is my assistant, Vados. We are here to recruit warriors for the Tournament of Power, a battle that will decide the strongest fighters across 11 universes. We want you to join our team. One of the women, unimpressed, responded, Hey, fat cat, why should we bother with your tournament? Champa, unfazed by the remark, smirked. I like your attitude. You should join because you will have the opportunity to prove that you are the best. Besides, in Universe 7, which is ruled by my brother, Beerus, there are warriors like you, Super Saiyans. Is that so? Fine, we're in. The woman replied, her curiosity piqued. That was easier than expected, Champa remarked. What are your names? My name's Caulifla. The one with the green hair is Kale, and the guy is Kaba. Kaba, showing more restraint than his companion, asked, Sir, do you know who these Saiyans from Universe 7 are? Champa nodded. I believe one of them is named Vegeta. There's another whose name I don't recall, and then there's Goku, the strongest being in their universe. He even defeated my brother in battle. Upon hearing this, Kaba and Caulifla exchanged excited glances, while Kale remained quietly observant. After a brief conversation, the 3 Saiyans bid farewell to Champa and Vados. As they headed back to their homes, Caulifla's enthusiasm was evident. Kale, can you believe this? We're going to fight against the best warriors from all the universes. Isn't that exciting? Kale, however, expressed her reservations. I'm nervous, but I know we'll do our best. You're right, Caulifla declared with determination. Starting tomorrow, we'll train harder than ever. No one will be able to stop us. Months later, Caulifla, Kaba, and Kale found themselves aboard Vados' traveling cube, en route to the arena where the Tournament of Power would be held. Upon their arrival, they were immediately struck by the presence of numerous formidable fighters, each one introduced with great fanfare by the host, King Zeno. When Goku's name was announced, Caulifla wasted no time in seeking him out, her curiosity burning after hearing Champa's description of the Saiyan from Universe 7. He certainly looks powerful. I can't wait to see how I measure up against him, she remarked with a competitive gleam in her eye. As the tournament began, the experience for Universe 6 was a mix of victories and losses. Many of their warriors were eliminated early on, leaving only Caulifla, Kaba, Kale, and the assassin Hit to continue the fight. Hit faced off against Goku, while Caulifla stood out among her peers. Her exceptional combat abilities allowed her to dominate her opponents without even transforming into a Super Saiyan. Kaba, on the other hand, faced a different fate. He was swiftly eliminated by none other than his master, Vegeta. Despite the setbacks, Caulifla remained a fierce competitor. She fought with unwavering focus, her talent and determination on full display. However, as she moved through the arena with Kale by her side, something caught her attention. She abruptly stopped, her eyes fixed on a distant point. "Sis, what's wrong? Why are we stopping?" Kale asked, puzzled. "Shh. Look over there, Kale," Caulifla whispered, her gaze unwavering. Caulifla observed with intense focus as two of the tournament's greatest warriors, Jiren of Universe 11 and Goku of Universe 7, clashed. Her gaze was fixed on Goku's relentless efforts. Though it appeared he was being overwhelmed by Jiren, there was a palpable confidence in his movements. His upper orange gi had been torn away, leaving only the blue undershirt, yet he pressed on. Sensing the need for more power, Goku swiftly ascended to Super Saiyan, then pushed further into Super Saiyan 2. "Jiren's no pushover," Goku muttered. "Looks like I need to take things up a notch." With a surge of energy, his hair shifted from golden to a brilliant blue, cloaked in a matching aura. "Well, this is getting interesting," Caulifla murmured, captivated by the escalating battle. The fight between Goku and Jiren resumed with renewed vigor, their exchanges so ferocious that the entire arena seemed to come to a standstill, all eyes drawn to the titanic duel. In a sudden shift, Goku delivered a devastating kick that sent Jiren crashing to the ground. Wasting no time, Goku began gathering energy for the Spirit Bomb, a massive sphere of power forming in the sky. But this time, instead of simply throwing it, Goku hurled himself into the attack, amplifying its impact. Though Jiren withstood the assault, it clearly left him wounded. Goku vanished for a brief moment, only to reappear with black hair, his body emanating a silver glow. "Is that?" Whis whispered in disbelief. "What is it, Whis?" Beerus demanded, tension creeping into his voice. Whis exhaled, understanding the gravity of what they were witnessing. "It's Ultra Instinct." As the battle reignited, it became clear that Goku, now tapping into Ultra Instinct, was dominating. His movements were fluid, almost as if he could predict Jiren's every strike. Both fighters unleashed their signature techniques, Jiren's devastating Red Blast and Goku's iconic Kamehameha Wave. Caulifla, still observing, grew more astonished by the second. "Ka! Me! Ha! Me! Ha!" Goku shouted, his attack blasting Jiren from the arena, effectively eliminating Universe 11. Just as Goku was about to fall from the ring, Caulifla sprang into action, catching him before he was disqualified. "Thanks. Whoever you are," Goku said, blinking in surprise. "The name's Caulifla," she replied with a grin. "I just saved your universe from getting erased." "Thanks, but why?" Goku asked, still catching his breath. "I watched you fight, and now I'm itching for a battle with you before you turn to dust." Goku chuckled. "Hey, dust, huh? Don't count me out just yet. I may be tired, but I've still got some fight left." "We'll see, old man." Caulifla taunted as she readied herself in a fighting stance, clearly pumped for the challenge. Without hesitation, she called out to her companion, "Kale. Let's go." The two launched a flurry of attacks on Goku, who deftly blocked their strikes using refined martial arts techniques. Caulifla was caught off guard by Goku's change in style, he was fighting differently than when he faced Jiren or hit. Despite their best efforts, Goku maneuvered closer to the edge of the arena. "We've got him now, Kale," Caulifla thought, pushing harder. But Goku surprised them both, releasing a powerful energy shield that sent the girls flying. He had transformed again, now donning the familiar golden locks of a Super Saiyan. Their fight continued with renewed intensity. Goku, now in Super Saiyan 2, began to regain strength, countering their blows with increasing precision. Caulifla, amazed, exclaimed, "Hey! You've gone beyond Super Saiyan. That's not fair, I want to do that too." Goku, smiling, responded, "Well, it took me a lot of training. I could show you. But..." Before he could finish, Caulifla roared, "Hiya!" and effortlessly transformed into Super Saiyan 2 herself. "Like this?" she asked confidently. "Wow, you're a quick learner," Goku admitted. "This is going to be fun." Determined to press their advantage, Caulifla and Kale prepared to combine their powers. Kale formed a massive green sphere of energy, while Caulifla charged two red orbs in her hands. "Crush Cannon," she yelled as they unleashed their attacks at Goku. In response, Goku powered up to Super Saiyan 3, his long hair flowing behind him. "What in the world is that?" Caulifla gasped. "This is Super Saiyan 3, Goku declared. "You have to teach me that. I can't wait to fight you in that form." Caulifla eagerly replied, But her excitement was cut short as Goku reverted back to Super Saiyan 2. Super Saiyan 3 drains a lot of energy, it's not something I can maintain for long, Goku explained. But enough talk, let's finish this. The battle resumed, with Goku now fully recovered, holding his own against Caulifla and Kale. Despite the relentless onslaught, he continued to fight at an even level with both. Goku's comrades watched the fight unfold, puzzled by his decision to prolong the encounter. He's holding back, Vegeta grumbled. He should have ended this already. Whis, observing closely, smiled. It seems Goku's enjoying himself. Caulifla's a skilled fighter, and he's using this opportunity to push his limits and recover energy. As the bout raged on, Caulifla paused, glancing at Kale with a knowing smile. This isn't enough. Let's take it up a notch, Kale. You ready? Kale nodded. Sis, you mean? Yes, Caulifla replied, determination in her voice. It's Kefla time. Goku observed with curiosity as Caulifla took to the sky, her aura igniting as both she and Kale began spinning, surrounded by a brilliant white light. In unison, their voices rang out, fusion, begin. So, this is their version of the fusion technique? Impressive. Goku mused. As the light faded and the dust settled, only one figure stood before him, a fusion of Kale and Caulifla. She wore Kale's outfit, but her hair resembled Caulifla's, styled in a similar manner. I am neither Caulifla nor Kale. My name is Kefla, and I will end this once and for all. Realizing that his base form would be no match for her, Goku quickly ascended to Super Saiyan God. The battle resumed, but Kefla maintained the upper hand, forcing Goku to evolve further into Super Saiyan Blue. Yet, even with this transformation, her strength surpassed his. She utilized both Kale's and Caulifla's abilities in unison, amplifying their combined power. Omega Crush, Kefla shouted, unleashing a devastating attack that merged Kale's Omega Shot and Caulifla's Crushing Cannon. The energy blast hit Goku directly, leaving him severely weakened. As Goku struggled to his feet, drained from the constant fighting throughout the tournament, something within him stirred. This was the moment when true warriors dig deep to summon their final reserves of strength. With a fierce roar, a silver aura exploded from Goku's body, expanding outward. His appearance changed, his shirt was torn away, revealing silver hair and glowing silver eyes. We observed in astonishment. This is Ultra Instinct, fully realized. Unbelievable. What? He surpassed the power of a god? Beerus bellowed, eyes wide with disbelief. Goku's new form exuded an overwhelming power, but Kefla, ever the Saiyan warrior, refused to back down. She charged at Goku with renewed determination. However, this time, Goku was too fast, effortlessly dodging her every move, as if predicting them before she even made them. His superior speed and strength left Kefla unable to land a single hit. Desperate, Kefla unleashed the Omega Crush once more, this time at full power. The massive green energy beams hurtled toward Goku, but instead of dodging, Goku did the unthinkable, he seized control of the attack. Holding the energy in his hands, he assumed the familiar stance for his signature move. A blue and green sphere formed in his palms, and with a powerful shout, Goku unleashed his newly improvised attack. Omega Kamehameha. Kefla, overwhelmed by the sheer force of the technique, was unable to maintain the fusion and reverted back into Caulifla and Kale. Kale, in a final act of defiance, launched an Omega Ball toward Goku, but it was swiftly countered, leading to her elimination. Caulifla, determined not to give up, transformed into Super Saiyan 2 and attacked with her Crushing Cannon. However, her efforts were in vain, Ultra Instinct Goku was far too powerful. The fate of my universe rests on this battle. I can't afford to lose, Caulifla shouted as she gave her all. Despite her efforts, Goku ultimately triumphed, and Caulifla was eliminated from the tournament. Goku from Universe 7 is the last fighter standing. Universe 7 wins. The announcer declared. With a snap of his fingers, Zeno erased Universe 6, fulfilling the tournament's grim conclusion. However, as per the rules, Goku was granted a wish using the Super Dragon Balls. The almighty Shenrong appeared, and a battered Goku made his request. I wish for the revival of all the universes that were erased, Goku stated. Why would you do that? Krillin asked, puzzled. It's not fair for them to lose their lives over a tournament. Besides, I still need to fight Caulifla again. She's got incredible potential, Goku replied with a smile. You never change, do you? Krillin chuckled. With that, Whis and Beerus took Universe 7's team back to Earth. Frieza, having fulfilled his time in the living world, returned to Hell. Though the Tournament of Power had concluded, Goku's journey was far from over. For in another universe, a new force was awakening. POV, Caulifla. I woke up, nothing more than that, just waking up was unexpected. The last thing I remembered was being knocked out of the tournament arena, losing to Goku. His skill is undeniable, and those transformations? I need to learn them. I got up and moved closer to the window, still in disbelief. This is Sadala. I'm alive? How is this possible? Stepping out of my room, I saw my fellow Saiyans, Kale, and Kaba, wandering around with the same bewildered expressions. Are you guys wondering why we're here? I asked, receiving a nod from both, their faces full of questions. We left the dorms and walked through our home planet, noticing our companions going about their business as if nothing had happened. Well, a familiar voice rang out. We turned to see Vados and Champa. That large cat always made me chuckle. His appearance is so amusing. But what's with Kaba? Why is he staring at me so much? It's getting annoying, even though he's saying nothing. We're all here because, after Caulifla's defeat by Goku, causing our erasure, Vados said. Thanks for reminding me, you blue annoyance. He used his wish to restore all universes that shared our fate. And he specifically mentioned you, Caulifla. Me? Yes. He enjoyed your fight and expressed interest in sparring with you again. The old man wants to train me. He hasn't forgotten. Bring me to Earth, Universe 7. He'll get his wish, and I'll get mine. The thought of being trained by Goku and achieving such immense power excited me beyond measure. Vados, as usual, didn't waste time. She summoned her transport cube and invited me in. Looks like I'll be heading out, I said. Kale, I'm leaving you in charge of the gang. You're more than capable. Will you come back, sis? I will, I just don't know when. I hugged Kale, noticing Kaba turning red and looking down. Kaba, got something to say? You look like you're about to burst. Well, I get it, Kaba. But, no. Okay. Goodbye, then. I watched him fly off. He's a nice guy, but definitely not my type. Honestly, I don't even know what my type is, but it's not Kaba. With that, Vados' cube closed, and we headed to Universe 7, Earth, where I could find Goku and begin my training. As we hovered in mid-air, Vados quickly departed without even saying goodbye. How polite. I spotted Goku below, sparring with Vegeta. Instead of revealing myself, I decided to watch from the sidelines, hoping to learn something. The problem was, Goku was so fast, especially in that incredible blue form. I could barely keep up. I want that power, Super Saiyan 3, too. Oh, and the silver-haired transformation as well. Caulifla? What are you doing here? How did he know I was here? He didn't even look my way. Hey, old man. How did you know? I sensed your ki. Teach me that. So, you're here for training, right? Of course. You promised to teach me Super Saiyan 3. Alright. Tomorrow we'll start. Just give me 5 more minutes to finish with Vegeta. He resumed his fight with Vegeta, and I couldn't help but keep watching him. There's something about him that draws me in, though I can't quite figure out what it is. Once he finished, he came over to where I was waiting. Ready to head home? I'm staying with you? Are you sure? Yeah. No problem. You'll meet my family, my wife, Chi-Chi, my son, Goten, and maybe even my older son, Gohan, who's married and lives on his own. Okay, then. I wasn't expecting him to be married, but given his age, it made sense. I was curious about where the strongest being of his universe lived. Surely, his home must reflect his power, right? But what I found was surprising. His house was modest, well kept but simple. It wasn't what I expected at all. As we entered, Goku made his presence known. Guys. I'm home. Goku, is that? Who is she? Well, that's one way to greet a guest, I thought. My name's Caulifla, nice to meet you. I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to my husband. Wow, talk about a warm welcome. Come on, Chi-Chi. It's not a big deal. She's one of my opponents from the Tournament of Power. I promised to teach her some techniques, so she's here for training. Oh, so she's staying here, too? The reception wasn't great, and it was clear who ruled the house. But despite her attitude, Chi-Chi was a good hostess, making dinner for everyone, including me. And I must admit, the food was delicious. After dinner, it was time for bed. Alright, Goten, off to bed. Good night, Mom. Night, Dad. Night, Caulifla. He doesn't even know my name yet. How cute. Yeah. Come on, Caulifla, you'll stay in Gohan's old room. Hell no. Chi-Chi interjected. She can take the sofa. But why? We have an empty room. Fine, Goku, you can sleep in it as long as she's here. Good night, everyone. It seemed harsh, but I could understand her frustration. He did bring a stranger into the house, another woman, no less. Still, her approach could use some work. I assured Goku the sofa was fine, and to be honest, it was more comfortable than Sadala's beds. Hey, old man, sorry your wife's making you sleep alone tonight. Ah, no big deal. She does it often. I'm used to it. Really? Yep. But don't worry about it. Let's get some rest. Tomorrow's a big day. We said goodnight, and as Goku left for his room, I couldn't help but feel bad for him. He seems so calm, but I wonder if, deep down, he's affected by the way she treats him. POV, Goku. As the night approached, I said my goodnight to Caulifla and made my way to the stairs, heading towards Gohan's old room. It wasn't the first time Chi-Chi had insisted I sleep there, but this time, the weight of it felt heavier, almost painful. Morning came swiftly. At dawn, I donned my gi, prepared for the day's warm-up. As I passed through the living room, I noticed Caulifla asleep on the sofa. She had pulled the sheets in such a way that her legs were completely uncovered, a contrast between softness and strength. I quietly stepped outside to begin my stretches, letting the cool morning air wake my body. Soon, I heard the door creak open behind me. Caulifla approached with her usual confidence. Hey old man. Starting without me, huh? Though she knew my name, she rarely used it. Oddly, I didn't mind. Just stretching. You joining in? Of course, she replied with a grin. We began with our stretches, and once finished, I turned to her with a more serious tone. Alright, before we dive into techniques, I need to cover some basics with you. What's the lesson this time? She asked, intrigued. When we fought, I noticed you relied heavily on sight, throwing strong but uncoordinated punches. Today, I'll teach you martial arts fundamentals and how to sense ki. Sense ki? She asked, her curiosity piqued. Yes, how to locate me without relying on your eyes, I explained. Sounds cool. Let's get started, old man. To my surprise, Caulifla mastered ki sensing in just over 20 minutes. Incredible, I exclaimed. You've done in minutes what took me days to learn. I told you, old man, I'm amazing, she said, flashing a confident smile. Now for the martial arts basics, I continued. You hit hard, but you need to refine your technique. The punches you throw are easy to dodge and drain a lot of energy. During our fight, I conserved my energy, and you need to learn how to do the same. First, let's start with your stance. I shifted into the turtle hermit stance, the same one I used against Vegeta all those years ago. This stance shows confidence and strength while protecting your weak points. The way you were standing before left you vulnerable and unsure. Alright, let me try, Caulifla said, mimicking my stance with remarkable precision. After a few hours of practice, she had the basics of martial arts down. Fantastic work, Caulifla. These fundamentals will take you far. You can adjust them to suit your style, but mastering these will be crucial. Now, let's head inside for breakfast. After that, I'll teach you something special. We joined Chi-Chi and Goten for breakfast, though the tension in the room was palpable. Goten seemed to get along with Caulifla, chatting with her easily, but Chi-Chi remained distant, clearly disapproving of her presence. I couldn't quite figure out why. Once we finished eating, Caulifla and I headed back outside to resume training. Now, I'm going to teach you my signature technique, the Kamehameha wave. You mean that blue energy blast you always use? Caulifla asked, her eyes gleaming with excitement. Exactly. It's simple to learn, but powerful. It can even be combined with other moves. All you need to do is focus your ki in your hands with the intent to attack. Watch closely. Caulifla observed intently as I demonstrated the technique. Teaching her felt different from when I trained Gohan. It was as if I were polishing a raw gem, watching it transform into something extraordinary. You start by positioning your hands like this, forming a ball of energy between them. Then you focus your ki. Ka. Me. Ha. See? It's forming in my hands, I said, showing her the energy taking shape. Ka. Me. Ha. Caulifla mirrored my stance perfectly, and in no time, she was gathering ki with surprising precision. Wow. You're a natural. I praised. Now, when the energy is fully charged, it's ready to be unleashed. Me. Wow, I can feel the power. Can we fire it now? Yes, together. I replied. Ha, we shouted in unison, releasing our Kamehameha waves and obliterating a nearby mountain. Caulifla was thrilled by the power surging through her hands. This is incredible, she exclaimed. What if I combine it with my own move? Crushing. Ka, me, ha, me, ha. In an instant, Caulifla innovated her own version, a combination of her crush cannon and the Kamehameha. The resulting attack sent a flurry of energy blasts in all directions, each one more formidable than the last. Caulifla, you're beyond amazing, I said, genuinely impressed. Damn right, old man. She replied with a smirk. The remainder of the morning proceeded smoothly. My new student quickly grasped the fundamentals of kayaking and demonstrated impressive control without causing harm to her body. As lunchtime approached, we returned indoors. Predictably, Chi-Chi was upset, seeing us return drenched in sweat and dirt from the rigorous training. The meal was already prepared, so we ate quickly and rushed back outside to continue training. It was time to help her realize one of her long-held dreams, achieving Super Saiyan 3. We resumed our training session, and I began with an announcement. Alright, Caulifla, this week I'll teach you how to ascend to Super Saiyan 3. Yes. Finally. I'll be so strong that I'll beat you next time, just wait, old man, she exclaimed with excitement. Hold on, girl. Before reaching Super Saiyan 3, you need to perfect Super Saiyan 2. It's crucial. Are you still able to transform into Super Saiyan 2? I asked. Of course. She replied confidently. Show me. With a spirited yell, "Yah!" Caulifla transformed into Super Saiyan 2. Her hair slightly spiked upwards, and crackling lightning surrounded her. Her strength was evident, but mastering this form was essential before advancing further. Super Saiyan 3 is incredibly taxing. It drains energy rapidly, so you must use it wisely. That's one of the reasons Vegeta avoided learning it and opted for God form instead. Super Saiyan 2 may be weaker, but it conserves energy. Master this form, and then we'll move on to Super Saiyan 3. Now, I'll transform to Super Saiyan 2, and we'll spar lightly. I transformed as well, and Caulifla positioned herself in the combat stance I had taught her. Our initial exchange of blows was impressive. She was already employing the martial arts techniques we had practiced earlier in the morning. Her learning speed was remarkable. Though it was only a sparring session, time slipped by unnoticed, and before we realized it, the day had turned into evening. I reverted to my base form and suggested we return indoors for dinner. So, old man, when will you finally teach me Super Saiyan 3? She asked eagerly. Perhaps tomorrow. Today's sparring in Super Saiyan 2 was productive, and we'll continue practicing it tomorrow morning. After that, we'll aim for Super Saiyan 3. Awesome, she exclaimed. As we sat for dinner with Chi-Chi and Goten, the aroma of the meal filled the room. Chi-Chi broke the silence. So, Goku, she began, what did you two do today? You should have seen her, Chi-Chi. She was incredible. She learned martial arts, how to sense ki, the Kamehameha, Kaioken, and even how to control Super Saiyan 2. We also had a sparring session. She's truly amazing. I noticed that Caulifla's cheeks flushed red as I spoke. Curious, I asked, hey, Caulifla, what's wrong? You're blushing. And nothing, old man. Just keep eating, she mumbled awkwardly. Her response seemed odd, and Chi-Chi's mood quickly shifted as she glared at me. So, you didn't farm today, did you? Chi-Chi asked, her voice tinged with irritation. No, I was busy training, I replied. It's pointless. Why do you insist on training? You never listen to me. Chi-Chi snapped. Caulifla, surprised, turned to me. You're a farmer, old man? She asked, clearly unaware of this side of my life. I tell him to farm, but he refuses to listen. He believes training is more important so he can be prepared for future threats. But we're in a time of peace, so all this training is unnecessary, Chi-Chi vented. Well, he's right, isn't he? Caulifla countered. If someone threatens the planet, he'll be ready to defend it. What's the harm in that? I told him to farm, and he should do it. End of story. Chi-Chi declared. Caulifla quietly finished her meal and left the table without a word. I could sense that she was troubled by Chi-Chi's outburst, so I stood to follow her, even as Chi-Chi protested. Where do you think you're going, Goku? She demanded. She wasn't treated kindly, and I want to make sure she's okay. What's the problem? I replied. What about me? Chi-Chi retorted. What about you? You weren't the one who got yelled at. Chi-Chi fumed, launching into another tirade. As usual, I tuned her out, waited for her to finish, then reassured her, before heading outside for some light training to release tension. Caulifla followed me. What's wrong, old man? She asked. It's always the same. She yells at me no matter what I say or do. She wants me to be a farmer, but I don't want that life. She's never liked my training, she says it's a waste of time. How about a light spar to clear our minds? She suggested. Thanks, I responded. We sparred for a while, which proved to be an effective way to unwind. Afterward, I felt the need to wash up, so I headed to the nearby river. Caulifla opted not to join me, saying it was embarrassing. Once I finished, she washed up too, though she made it clear I was not to watch. I respected her wishes, of course. Afterward, we sat and talked. I shared stories of my past battles, Vegeta's arrival, my fights with Piccolo and his son, Frieza, Cell, and Majin Buu. Caulifla listened intently, captivated by the tales. Wow! You've fought so much to protect this planet. She marveled. Yes. This planet welcomed me as a friend, and fighting to protect it is the least I can do. It's my home, and I love it. I fight so my friends can live in peace. That's admirable. But why does Chi-Chi yell at you so much? Honestly, sometimes I feel like I'd slap her if I were in your shoes. Sorry, don't tell her that. No worries. I've just learned to live with it, I replied with a smile. We spent some time outside before heading back indoors to get some rest. She settled on the sofa while I took Gohan's old room. The next morning, we sparred again, both of us in Super Saiyan 2 form, and she was progressing quickly. By the afternoon, she was ready for the next step. To achieve Super Saiyan 3, you need to focus all your ki and continuously elevate it during the transformation process. Watch closely. First, you go Super Saiyan, then ascend to Super Saiyan 2 while maintaining that concentration. And then, I began my transformation into Super Saiyan 3. The process wasn't painful anymore since I had mastered it years ago, but it still took a considerable amount of energy. As I completed the transformation, Caulifla looked at me, astonished. Wow, that's incredible. Let me try. Caulifla immediately transformed into Super Saiyan, then Super Saiyan 2, and astonishingly, she reached Super Saiyan 3 in no time at all. How do you feel? I asked. Exhausted. But incredibly powerful, she replied. She looked different from me in this form. Her hair was longer and more refined, and unlike me, she still had her eyebrows, possibly due to her being female. For the rest of the week, we trained to master Super Saiyan 3, and I also taught her one of my most powerful techniques, the Spirit Bomb. She struggled initially, but after a while, she managed to control it. The following week, it was time to move beyond that form. Kali, it's time for Super Saiyan God. The blue transformation? No, not yet. That's Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, or simply Super Saiyan Blue. I'm talking about the base form of Super Saiyan God, which is red. With that form, your ki becomes undetectable because you're using divine energy. How do I tap into God ki? This was where things became challenging. I explained that I had achieved it with the help of 5 other Saiyans turning Super Saiyan, but now, it was just the 2 of us. Goten couldn't come because of Chi-Chi, Gohan was busy with work, and both Trunks and Vegeta were caught up in their own training. I wasn't sure how we could proceed. I've got an idea, Caulifla said confidently. What if I concentrate on the ki of 4 other Super Saiyans? I know Kale and Kaba, and I can use Gohan and Vegeta from the tournament. You could be the 5th, physically transforming to help me. Let's give it a try, I replied. She closed her eyes and focused intently. When she was ready, I transformed into Super Saiyan, and moments later, Caulifla rose into the air, enveloped in a red aura. Her hair and eyebrows turned red, and then, with a powerful burst of energy, she had become a Super Saiyan God. Incredible. You essentially did it all by yourself. I'm impressed. You better be. I told you I was amazing, she said with a grin. We trained her in this new form, and she mastered it within a few days. After that, I introduced her to the blue form. How do I transform into blue? It's simpler than you think. Just imagine turning Super Saiyan, but using God Ki instead. That's it? Exactly. Give it a shot. Without hesitation, she transformed again, this time into Super Saiyan Blue. We sparred once more, testing her new form. In just a few weeks, she had learned what had taken me years to perfect. Her progress was nothing short of extraordinary. For some reason, though, Chi-Chi was less than pleased whenever I updated her about my students' growth. I kept praising Caulifla's progress, but Chi-Chi seemed irritated every time. Caulifla's enthusiasm and determination were captivating, especially when her cheeks flushed red from the intensity of our training. I couldn't help but wonder how she felt. That's all for today's video, my dear YouTube family. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really helps us grow and bring more of what you love. Thank you so much for your support. Stay awesome, stay connected. Much gratitude. Cactus.